Swadakta mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni KDR TV ikiwa tunapeperusha matangazo yetu ya moja kwa moja kutoka hapa nchini Kenya na matukio ya kule ughaibuni. Naam, viongozi kutoka kwenye kaunti ya Machakos wakiongozwa na kinara wa Wiper Mheshimiwa Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka wamemshtumu vikali waziri wa biashara na viwanda Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria kwa madai ya kuwafurusha watu kutoka kwenye shamba la kampuni ya saruji ya Portland. Viongozi hao sasa wanamtaka Mheshimiwa Rais William Samoei Ruto kuingilia kati. Hebu tupate jinsi mambo yalivyo kwenye kaunti hiyo ya Machakos.
Around the squatters, I know you are an irresistible force, but in me you will find an immovable object. I want NYS to start digging trenches right here. No 1 centimeter of Portland land will be grabbed anymore. Sasa jameni, kama hii shida ya maskota Moses Kuria hawezi tatua, hii Kenya nani anaweza tatua shule?
Wacha kusema ati watu wetu wamezoea ku grab land. Wale walikuwa wamekaa huko Waitiki sijui na wapi, si walipatiwa mashamba? Na hawa watu, wacha nikwambie, hawa sio maskota. Hawa watu wamekaa kwa shamba yao. Hawa kwa shamba yao. And the last time I checked, Mheshimiwa Kuria, land was devolved. Ilirudi kwako aje?
Na huyu party leader wetu ni mjomba yangu. Wavinya Ndeti ni dada yangu. Kwa hivyo hata kama wewe uko pinzani, mimi niko serikali, siwezi kubali na wewe kwa serikali na watu wetu wanapigwa. Kwa hivyo hiyo kwanza msahau. Sisi tunaheshimu Rais William Samoei Ruto, tunaheshimu Mheshimiwa Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, tunaheshimu Gavana Wavinya Ndeti. Na tutaenda tumwambie Moses Kuria arudi hapa asikize story yetu.
Mimi nitarudi hapa, wakiingia hapa na mabudoza, tutaita Wakamba wote tutoke hapa tuende kwa Ruto. Hata kama hata tuona kutoka Adhiriva kwenda pale headquarters ya Desta, nilitembea hiyo safari 34 kilometers. Tutaenda.
Mashirika yaliyochunguza uchaguzi mkuu ulioandaliwa Agosti 9 mwaka wa 2022 wameipongeza tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka IEBC, maafisa wa usalama na pia vilevile wanahabari kwa kazi nzuri walioifanya. Hata hivyo, wameikosoa IEBC kwa kutojiandaa vyema kwa uchaguzi huo uliopita. Watu hao walikuwa wakizungumza jijini Nairobi, na hebu tupate jinsi walivyonena.
Is surmounted by a lot of the problems that they are having is because we are having 6 elections also in one day. And one of the recommendations, and which has been carried forward from 2017 and 2013, was that we need to stagger our elections. The national elections and the county elections, for instance, can be separated. We can have national elections on one day and then we have our county elections on another, or whatever other formula is used.
IEBC still have injuries from their stakeholders to cure. And the earlier the IEBC starts, the better for their confidence in the IEBC and the trust to build in the people going to the next electoral cycle. IEBC should find means of engaging with the stakeholders where there are grievances, where there are still mistrusts, where there are still bitterness and emotive things. This should be the time for IEBC to engage and cure all those going forward.
The social media platforms themselves can also help play the role that social media platforms continue to play in our electoral processes. Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, and all the rest, I think is something that needs a better conversation, because those platforms have become purveyors of disinformation, misinformation, hate speech, violence against women in elections, and name it. And I think a better regulation around that should.
Hatimaye kesi ya ufisadi dhidi ya naibu rais Mheshimiwa Dp Gachagua imetupiliwa mbali na mahakama kuu. Hebu tupate jinsi mambo yalivyo kwenye koti ya mahakama kuu.
there being no objection to the substantive application by the prosecution to have the matter withdrawn under section 87A of the Criminal Procedure Code, the application is hereby granted. Now, the accused persons are hereby warned and informed that they may be rearrested in future and on the same or similar charges. However, as suggested by counsel for accused number 3, I believe it is important for courts of law to make recommendations which might improve the criminal justice system based on real-time observations. As court of laws, we are no longer passive arbiters of everything and anything that is presented before us for adjudication. Never, in my view, should the judicial system be used as a stopgap measure or even a doormat. There is need to respect institutions. Recommendations are necessary at whatever level. More so when a criminal process seems to overtly offend Article 52 of the Constitution of Kenya, which provides that every accused person has a right to a fair trial. I have read and reread its Article 157. Article 157 of the establishes the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. It is a very, very powerful constitutional office, and it is subordinate to none when it comes to the institute continuation of criminal proceedings in the Republic of Kenya. The DPP is basically in charge of conduct of all criminal proceedings in the Republic. Same Constitution, the Director of Public Prosecution has been granted powers to direct the Inspector General of the Police Service to investigate any information.
Kwenye habari zingine ni kwamba wabunge wa mrengo wa Azimio wakiongozwa na mbunge wa Suna Mashariki Mheshimiwa Junet Mohamed wamewakosoa wenzao kutoka kwenye mrengo wa Kenya Kwanza kuhusu kubadilishwa kwa katiba ili kusongeza mbele mihula mbili ya utawala ya urais aliye mamlakani kwa sasa. Hebu tupate jinsi wabunge hao walivyozungumza wakiongozwa na mbunge wa Suna Mashariki Mheshimiwa Junet Mohamed.
These roadside declarations must end. Government now must bring policy, now must operate through parliament, they must operate through their ministries, they must do things the way government was known to be doing things. The way things Kenya Kwanza is doing now is not the way government operates. Because everyone, like some disgruntled militia, is giving roadside declaration anywhere and anyhow. But second, this issue of term limit, I want to advise you, UDA and Kenya Kwanza in general, as an advice, that it is too early to test the waters with that kind of statement. Kenyans are suffering, there is drought, there is hunger, there are myriad of problems in our country, cost of living. We know ourselves as politicians. You send a small squirrel to test for you the waters, whether there is maize in the granary. We know each other. That's what the young man was doing. But I want to advise them that they can postpone that for another day. We know it is coming, and we are waiting for it. We know one day, before this term ends, that matter will come, either through parliament or through another means. We are waiting for it. But the only advice we want to issue now, as colleagues in politics, it is too early to talk about that. Because Kenyans are suffering, Kenyans have problems. The issue of term limit, we said it before election, we will say it now, and we know it is coming. But we know how to deal with it, and we will deal with it at the right time, not at this time when Kenyans have problems of drought, hunger, cost of living. No. We want to fight over that matter when Kenyans are not hungry, when Kenyans' bellies are full. That's the time to play that kind of football. So I'm telling this Kenya Kwanza, don't add suffering to suffering. Kenyans are suffering enough, so don't add term limit. And secondly, we know that
was envious of the record that has been set by his close friend Yoweri Museveni across the border. So, but we want to caution really this early in the day, even though we know they are simply testing the waters. We want to caution very, very strongly that any attempt to create a life presidency in this country, like the one we see obtaining in Uganda, shall be resisted vigorously by the people of Kenya. Therefore, to the person who is sending these surrogates, we are now addressing you. The person sending these surrogates to test the waters, we want to warn you that we are closely monitoring your moves, and we shall not allow you to succeed in these very devious schemes.
Through parliamentary initiative, we are telling him we are watching you and we will not allow you to amend the constitution pengine ubadilishe ile ya sukuru.
Thank you very much.
You know, in Uganda, first they changed the constitution and removed the term limit first, and changed it to age limit. And in the end, they changed the age limit again, because that person who was changing himself for himself to remove the term limit ended up growing older. So age caught up with him. So first he removed the term limit. He thought that he's young now, he can stay, and then changed the age limit. Then he ended up reaching that age limit. Then he had to remove the age limit. So I want to advise that even that age you want to bring, you'll end up reaching there. So I don't know, you'll end up removing the age limit also, so that you continue ruling until you die.
Bila shaka hii ni runinga uipendayo ya KDR. Jina langu ni Omari Musa.